Clean's so cowardly, man. But
oh, don't say that. Yeah. Summoner's Rift. Fourth game of the night. SGR, Sigma Rebirth versus KG, Kieran Gaming. Neither of these teams can make it out of Group B, but they're still going to put on a show as Sigma Rebirth are going to try and invade. And Jesper immediately forced to flash out.
Sigma Rebirth, that's their name. I call them Sigma Red because I'm pretty sure that's a villain from a PlayStation 2 game. But moving swiftly onwards, we are here in Summoner's Rift, and immediately the flash from the Mundo of Jasper, and we said that this Olaf from Inspire had the onus on the top side, had a lot of pressure being pumped out of him. Now he's facing down a relatively weak early game champion with no flash, so should really look to abuse and start lead early.
Without a flash, I mean, he's a sitting duck. The undertow combos are going to be deadly on the Mundo because he has no real escapes in his kit, apart from well-placed infected cleavers that can potentially try to outslow Inspire, but the resets on the undertow is just so oppressive. Now, Sigma Rebirth are going to start red as expected, and they're going to get spotted through and through by a ward expertly placed by Kieran Gaming.
Yeah, and if Jeff does not play too carefully in this top side, he may find himself feeling a little bit numb here, caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow, as it were. But, oh, man. Sorry. I laugh at my own jokes too much. It throws a low. But speaking of flow, look at this mid lane gank. Super
level
smooth.
2 gank in a mid lane. Flash comes out of Kagame. In the process of Flawless hopping in after doing red. Good gank here. Unexpected.
Very, very solid gank. You do not expect the leap strike plus the counter strike to just be such an efficient gank early on. Red buff kind of factors into that as well, but no, Flawless. I'm happy getting both summoners from Kagame here, Cleanse and Flash. So this is basically a free gank by any sense of the means, and it does mean that Kagame, if he wash up to get lane priority for this Rengar from Daze to invade and steal away a couple of camps, he's going to be putting himself in a very actionable position to just get ranked again.
And at this point, Flawless, after gaining pressure in the mid lane, he's going to invest in vertical jungling. Daze completely relegated to the bottom side of the map. I don't think he has the information that he was forced into vertically jungle.
It's a bit of a precarious position to be in for, I'd say, everyone across the board right now, especially if you're Flawless, chilling at the enemy Gromp, about to have a very angry knife cat in your face right now. Daze is looking on the Rengar. Smite.
Smite's available. He gets it. Level 3 versus level 3. However, Flawless has a bit of an advantage when it comes to camps, so he does still have the red buff burning in his favor. He's trying to get the first blood on Daze. Daze fighting back. He's stabbing. He's a cat. He's angry, and he gets first blood. But it's responded in the top lane. Inspire solo kills Jasper, who was trying to help out his jungler.
And a big lead for SGR, immediately erupting now with KG almost getting the onus on that play, but Jasper tunnels on trying to back up his jungler, tunnels on trying to give us a path out. By bringing the Mundo to him, it would have given us the top Jack's leap strike too defensively, but no, there was nothing, and you saw Daze just confidently not even flashing out, believing in the fact that Kagame had him with the command protect, moving forward on the Rengar, one auto attack away from dying, but surviving enough to drop this Jax, and that starts the bone tooth necklace, and it starts to make any future duels between the two junglers become a little bit more tilted in favor of Rengar from SGR.
Oh, it's a small buff on that Rengar on the first tooth that he gets, but look at the root coming in. A lot of damage being dealt by Sigma's bot lane here.
That binding
1,000 gold
was pretty slippery, gotta be said. Hoon is probably like, what? How did that even hit? But it happens. It was a good one. I liked it.
Bugs.
No, probably just a really, really good aim from Zaphiroth there. I admire these Morgana mechanics actually that we've seen today. Combo mechanics.
Closing in, Flawless immediately comes into the bot lane, counter strike, gets the stun over on Zaphiroth and forced to flash out of both bot laners of Sigma Rebirth.
Actually, in the
angry knife cat.
Oh, yeah, very angry knife cat. As he said, Daze just trying to further accentuate the lead that he has for himself already, and now. We said that Daze has the advantage in the 1v1 in the invade scenario, so Flawless not going for the invades, not presenting an opportunity for this Rengar to get the duel, just go straight again for a gank. Made an appearance across all three lanes now, if you count the fact that he was counter jungling towards the top lane. And this Jax, we said was a late game threat, but right now he seems to have the in the other game.
Flash. No summoners in the mid lane. Kagame might be in trouble as the counter strike comes through, so does the cleanse, but Persistence picks up this blast kill.
surprised by how quickly that cleanse came up off cooldown, but it was not enough to Oriana's 11 immediately. Flawless getting revenge for that reinforcement that Kagame did give to Daze in that earlier invade top side, and now Flawless starting the snowball of his own team with Persistence picking up a kill and Rise. We touched on how influential some of these global pressure ultimates are. Rise is not quite global, in fact far from it, bit of a rift step, more of a...
It's a local.
Yeah, it's something, alright?
It's a locally ultimate, but regardless, I wanted to drag your attention over to Daze's Keystone rune in the form of a Predator. I thought that was... I didn't bring much attention to it because it's something that I personally use in the jungle.
Inspire? Want to look at the Keystone runes, but also want to look at this!
Run! And this is exactly what we expected from the Olaf. Just get run down as soon as the Undertow lands.
Well, Jabs run down towards his turret and eventually, presumably, towards his summoner platform, and Inspire gave him the fast track.
The old razzle-dazzle.
Yeah, just saying, look, you want to go towards your summoner platform? You towards your summoner platform. Confidence. And Olaf didn't really touch on this before, but Olaf's so much attack speed inbuilt to it. It just means that he takes these turrets super fast, and here's a fast.
The Knife Cat is angry. Look, they want to go for the Flawless. Flawless does not have flash. The outplay from Daze is amazing. Flushes into the brush to get the jump reset.
And well, he is Predator, but that right there looked like footwork coming through from the Rengar here, and you have the empower.
What are you doing? Daze baits in the engage from Jasper and forces him to die yet again. 3-0-0 on Inspire, and Sigma Rebirth dominating the top half of the map.
And KG falling apart around that. You have 5 kills on the side of SGR, and 3 of them on this Monday, 2 of them on this Persistence in the mid lane for KG, and his name is... The rest of the team is going to have to show persistence. They're going to have to stick through it. They're going to have to continue to pressure what little leads they can get. Take what you can get. Continue to scale. Get the right game. Jax to late game. Mundo to late game. Caitlyn to late game. All of these champions are so good later on. But right now, look, you're not going to have any chance of that. And while we're thinking of late game, I'm thinking of scaling. And while we're thinking of... What is this Tear of the Goddess Ashe build?
You're the caller. You're asking me what the Tear of the Goddess is. Well, obviously she wants to go for the Mirror Mana. Yeah, Mirror Mana.
Okay.
You tell me the cost efficiency of that item.
Fairly solid. It just gives her more lane stick potential, basically. So the Ashe can just chuck out volley after volley, which is kind of decent.
Goes in, counter strike. But look at the Realm Orb coming through as well. As Daze hops in. Shockwave comes through. Persistence is in trouble. It's coming to shut down. They're looking for Kagami. Gets the kill and forces Flawless out of Sigma Rebirth, this jungle. They're dominating the match. Predator is active and so is on the hunt. They want Flawless. Look at the damage that Daze is pulling through. Flushes out the enchanted crystal arrow to perfection.
That was alright. What, the enchanted crystal arrow to perfection, did you say? No, the enchanted crystal arrow to Narnia, as it does go flying.
The flash was perfect.
Yeah, okay. The flash was perfect. The flash flawless. The arrow left a lot to be desired. Regardless, good play from SGR. The teleport was a bit overrunning of Inspire. You saw him just clear out mid lane while Kagame sat around the Drake just backing up Daze here, and then slowly make his way up to clear some of the wave that Jasper had built for himself. And yeah, mount in pocket, couple of kills in pocket, and smooth sailing from here on out for SGR, you have to imagine.
Persistence still outputting a lot of pressure, outputting a lot of damage. The more mana you build on that Rise, the more damage he's going to output from his passive, and that's exactly what he's trying to apply. Pressure in the mid lane. On a 1v1 scenario, he has the upper hand over Kagami, but in a team fight scenario, Kagami is going to take the lead here with his Shockwave. Now, Daze is trying to get some pressure in the bottom lane with Zephyros and Zignor. A lot of Z's here.
So, this Ashe build is like completely unprecedented. This is basically the scale kind of BM Ashe build. Sick disengage. Yeah, absolutely. This Ashe build, very respectful.
Zephyros jumps in, flashes up to the bot lane of KG. Flawless comes into the back. The 2v2 goes sideways. Zignor is forced to flash as the ace in the hole shreds a lot of HP down from Zignor. Jasper tries to run down bot. The teleport is committed. Inspire's just going to be walking over to mid lane in the process. KG want to secure plates.
Thrill of the hunt pop defensively for Daze. is that actually end up using it, but may wish that he kept it for himself here.
Counter-strike. Days in trouble, no one to save him as Flawless secures the kill on the enemy jungler. First blood tower could be in order as Zinogre. Good lord, Zinogre gets leaped on. Counter-strike, stun, kill, clean. Look at the backline. Inspire tries to get the 1v4, but what is he doing? Gives a shutdown over the Cradle, and the first blood tower could be, again, attempted here by KG. This time, no one to oppose them.
And both teams are laughing in comms, to be honest, because this is just fun. This is League of Legends, actually. It's beautiful. I really like it, except for the Ashe build. It's good runner. So usually Ashes, nowadays, Blade of the Ruined King, the likes of your Phantom Dancer to follow that up, or the Runan's Hurricane, passive works with crit. Just not Muramana. But I kind of want to rationalize it in the sense that, you know, you're facing down a Caitlyn who you weren't going to have the luxury of auto-attacking anyway, plus you want to match the wave clear by the Karma Caitlyn lane anyway. The Cull is, again, a very scaling item. So SGR, if I'm you, don't take too many fights around the bot lane. Just depend on the Ashe for an ult. That's it. That's all Zinogre is good for right now until he really starts to ramp up in terms of item relevancy on this Ashe.
Zinogre wanted to play
off into such
Ezreal.
a position. Yeah.
Zinogre wanted to play Ezreal, and he's forced into an Ashe, and he's angry about it. So he's going to build Ezreal regardless.
That could
fire now.
Very. Oh, and actually,
we don't see his sheen.
Flawless kind of trolling, by the way, with the warrior build that you mentioned earlier. Hoon, you may be in trouble, my friend.
Hoon, force flash into the tri-bush. The assistance of Cranel. As the rest of SGR maintain pressure on the top lane. Flawless is coming in. Probably going to force Daze to flash out. No, he's going to preserve his summoner spell for now.
Bit of a hard commit from KG there, because you have the threat of the banner, plus the fact that Enchanted Crystallara is available as well. Yeah. Just now, oh god, he completed the mana in such a good position now. But actually, while we were talking about itemization, just again touching on the fact that this Jax has gone for the warrior. Not really what you want to see, but it kind of actually this time around, not immediately building towards some AD or weakness, going instead straight for what you have to imagine will be the Ninja Tabi into the Triforce. So you have big word side.
Zinogre gets the Enchanted Crystallara immediately on top of Flawless, thumbs it in, but look at the counter-strike, goes through. Shockwave locks in two people, good damage coming from Daze. He's looking for the reset, doesn't get a kill, finally flashes in on Flawless, gets the kill, and in goes Kagami, flashes to kill Hoon in the bot lane, another solo kill from Inspire, and all that's left of Persistence. He already cleared out Kagami, gets a double kill through Zephyroth, and it is KG at the end of the day who take hold of this top lane skirmish.
And it's KG who still have their primary carry still alive, and they will be able to get yet another tower pre this 14-minute mark, just chunking through the plating. But while we're talking about chunking through plating, Inspire, left alone in the bottom side, gets another solo kill under him, continues to just rack up some personal localized gold in this Olaf. He's building Celestial Shroud for the mana sustain, but then just focusing on building towards what will eventually be a Black Cleaver. I don't think the Kindle gem is...
Kindle gem into the Phage, into the Black Cleaver. Probably, yeah, because he wants to get the cooldown reduction as fast as he can so he can cycle through his spells faster. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it gives him more additional access to the Reckless Swing for more true damage on the Mundo or on the Karma.
Hoon, no flash, no ignite, gets the stun off on Inspire, but Daze is going to slice through the support of KG regardless.
No ignite, no health bar left for Hoon here. The Karma sent packing down just in time for another break to spawn, and SGR looks to be in full control. Maybe looking for Flawless here as well. Oh, Shockwave!
Oh, Shockwave locks in two people. Daze slices in, gets a jump on Flawless. He is down for the count as the Undertow secures the kill on the enemy jungler. Arrow available, still yet to be used, as Cranel already has used heal.
Thrill of the Hunt is active.
I'm not going to commit to anything apart from the Mountain Dragon. As Sigma
Coward.
Rebirth were going for the mid lane tower, but they're instead going to divert their attention over to the Mountain Dragon.
Yeah, makes sense. Pretty weird considering the rest of the game, how both these schemes kind of played with zero hesitation, no inhibitions at all, just saying, like, let's go in. Let's fight, let's do it, let's pressure our lead. You had the Crystal Arrow, well, you had a Crystal Arrow.
You had a Crystal Arrow.
Yeah.
Go on.
Rift Herald had a Crystal Arrow that time around. But, yeah, so many use them. It did try to use them, but it didn't really pay off. SGR, despite the fact they flubbed a couple of ultimates here and there, look to be in complete control.
Arguable considering the fact that KG are still leading by 2,000 gold. Give or take. SGR do have the 2 Mountain Dragons in their favor, so as the game goes on, it's going to facilitate
Here
their
comes
position
Inspire!
of target. But Inspire runs down the river, actually, with Righteous Glory in hand. Now being tackled by Jasper, who secures the positioning for this Rift's Herald, and it's going to be falling over the KG.
Well, here comes Inspire, there goes Inspire, and there goes Shelly into the pockets of Flawless this time around, building towards his Triforce still. And once he gets to that, this Shaxx is going to become even more scary. And now you have the potential of dropping that Rift Herald in the mid lane, but actually, no more from SGR facing them down right now because of the way the back timings have worked out. So it could be a decent opportunity for this KG lineup to proc the Rift Herald, or are they just going to take a couple of last hits here and there?
Maybe the latter. I mean, I was thinking, how are KG ahead of gold? But then I saw that they have 3 towers to 1 of SGR, and the mid lane farm discrepancy is abysmal.
That is quite a big factor in the fact that Kagome didn't really lane. Even in that initial invade that blew up in Flawless's face, it was the left lane that left 2 waves to crash into a tower while she backed up the Rengar. So I can't really fault Kagome for his decision making, but his wave mission has so far left a lot to be desired.
And that's going to leave him 60 CS under Persistence, who is also looking really, really good on a rise. Could be the saving grace here for AG as they head into the mid-late game. We all know what the type of threat that Rise can become if he's given the space to breathe.
But room to breathe is not something that the Rengar is going to allow you to get, and certainly not the Fed Olaf either. We said that he was building towards multiple items at once. Well, guess what? He's got both of them now. Righteous Glory and Black Cleaver. Pockets of Inspire now. This is a very, very threatening Olaf lane.
Double down, you also have a Black Cleaver in the hands of Daze, so that's going to stack twice as fast if both members are in a fight. Now, Daze running down Persistence. Realm Warp goes through, gets the Enchanted Crystal Arrow out, so does the Shockwave. A lot of resources committed, but
Inspire.
They finally get the shutdown on Rise. In the meantime, for the 5th time, Jasper dies solo to Inspire.
SGR said, what gold lead? You may have 1k over us right now, but we have the power. Unintentional He-Man reference. Go. And on the topic of going, so is the last outer turret in the side lane for KG right now, as it does fall into the pocket of SGR, you have to imagine. Or not, as the case may be, Inspire saying, I'll back off, because where are the Karma and the Jax? In my face.
So he wants to get it. He no longer has the Ragnarok, so he can't really secure any type of CC against himself. The Ignite is on him, so he can heal through, and the shutdown goes over the Hoon.
And Hoon getting that shutdown is a bit of a sad face. Flawless, who would have, needed as much gold as possible to build towards before that 22, 23 odd minute mark. But still, a decent amount of tempo advantage going by way of KG. It means they can get some vision advantage around the next neutral objective, which will be another Drake in a fairly short period of time, or even attention because there are 2 Mountain Drakes inside of SGR, or it could even be a bit of a mid lane just dance around. You have Shelly popped in the
Herald
top lane.
top.
Yeah.
Herald top and only Kagami there to defend. Flawless is going to leave Herald to her own devices, actually. Which is her demise to Kagami, so the tower's not going to drop just yet. Flawless is going to farm the camp and probably going to go back because he has no mana in his pool.
No mana in his pool, but there is going to be a Scuttle Crab coming up shortly, so that will replenish his bar a little bit. And, well, talking about mana in pools, Daze comfortably sat with a blue buff in pocket, adding a red buff to the bar meanwhile, getting off a decent base, and then we could look for a threatening fight to break out. Spectre's Cowl in the inventory of the Rengar just saying, look, I respect your magic damage, and that's why I'm just going to stop you from doing that much more.
Do you agree with this build path from Daze? I mean, Warrior is a very cost-efficient item as far as jungle items go. Probably, arguably, the most cost-efficient item of all 4 of them.
So, I'd say Warrior, yes, while it's decent, is not as much of a Spiker, of course, and I think Days had enough incremental gold each time he went base to build significantly towards the Tiamat as necessary for the Rengar's jungle clear. What with jungle clearing in mind, how about the neutral jungle or the neutral Baron pit, as it were, with the Baron Nashor being started up and then eventually
Try to go for a
zoned off
sneaky
of?
Baron play, but not going to really be able to concede the Baron for themselves, even though they do have the double mountain. KG are on the scenario. And now you have Inspire going for Jasper. Immediately, the masochism being procced. Looks like he's trying to fight around as the kill goes over to Inspire yet again for the 6th time. It's very sad, but Flawless gets a shockwave to the face. No follow-up from SGR in the bot.
Did not really see where the arrow ended up, but it's good forward play. As soon as they saw this insanely fed Olaf, who is a majority of this SGR team's gold in his pocket, showed top. They immediately committed everyone towards this Mountain Drake, secured it for themselves, and now they, perhaps, can threaten a Baron for themselves later on with the raw amount of DPS being pumped out of Persistence's Rise and Cranial on this Caitlyn. Deathless in this game so far, despite the fact everyone else seems to be hemorrhaging resources around him.
Have to wait and see. 21 minutes, we're in the mid-game right now. This is where the biggest power specs of KG would be coming online. They have some leads, but the top lane is sinking in. They have no real front line. Kagami gets collapsed by Persistence. Flawless hops in, doesn't even get the assist on that kill. And Daze disengages from the bot.
Oh, man. Good times all around, honestly, if you are KG here because these hard engagements.
Oh, they lock in! Morgana flashes in from Flawless, but immediately good reactions from Zephyros promote the disengage as Inspire undertows his way to his team's safety. Tier 2 tower under threat here.
Cranial by himself here could find himself picked out by a throw if he's not careful, actually. The Caitlyn Siege sorely missing in this bot lane attempt. And it's taking a while to die, but arrow!
Enchanted Glacial Arrows, Jesper gets caught off. Look at the Ragnarok, he's still dealing damage, still dishing out a lot of pressure, but eventually he gets taken down by KG, who also take down the Tier 2 tower. Sigma Rebirth completely leaving Inspire alone in this bottom lane tower.
Inspire is huge, but he's not huge enough. We had the Thrill of the Hunt available for Days, who's like, nah, I won't use it quite yet, but he will use it to chase down Persistence. You have to imagine Persistence.
Gets a lock in, gets a reset on the jumps, keeps on circling through the brushes, and he leaves Persistence! No, the Red Smite secures the kill!
And Hoon was probably like, I used my shield to speed myself up to get to you sooner. And, yeah. No shield coming onto the rise that time around. Persistence actually died, and that's a lot of the... Well, so we saw KG make play for the Baron when Inspire was dead. Basically, when Persistence SGRs tend to make a play because Persistence is the man with so much of the gold of this KG roster in his pocket right now.
Well, I mean, Zephyros now in the jungle. Counter-Strike will get denied by the Black Shield as Sigma Rebirth are starting to assert some vision, some control over the top lane map so that they can defend from the Baron Nashor play, potential Baron Nashor play.
Incredibly
KG...
difficult to sneak a Baron into not only an Ash shot, but of course you have the Thrill of the Hunt from Rengar revealing people. Plus, if you clump up like that, you're either arrow bait, Ragnarok Olaf bait, or a shockwave bait.
And
Arrow.
looks like the Crystal Arrow lands in the back of Jesper.
0-6.
Dr. Mundo gets locked in, slowed down. The perma-slow is live.
Cranial.
Just leads him to death. Cranial cleanses with the Quicksilver Sash, and Daze is not going to find a pick. But however, Sigma Rebirth 4v5 right now might be looking for the Baron play.
They don't need to pick onto another champion to find one. Instead, they will find a pick. You have to imagine onto this Baron Nashor. Flawless trying to 1v1 Inspire.
Oh no, that's a very scary Olaf. In a 5v1, it looks easy, but Olaf is very, very much danger. Oh, Kagami.
He tried it. He did his best.
I guess Olaf died before he could pull the shockwave.
Persistence.
Down goes Rengar. That's less of a jungler they have to really go for the Baron. And now KG yet again denied the Baron play from Sigma Rebirth.
Could maybe start it up themselves, but that could be just a bit ambitious, especially with
Flawless is dead.
Flawless being dead is a bit of a hamper towards any sort of objective. Then again, Daze is also dead, but there is, you know, the fact that Jasper would have taken a while to get his way there on the Mundo, and honestly, I don't really fancy your attempts at Baron 1 facing down a composition that involves Morgana and Orianna as both DPS and pick threats.
So this is a very back and forth game so far. We can assume that Sigma Rebirth have a lot of damage threats, but their front line is kind of volatile. Because if Inspire goes in for the front line, he loses resistances with Ragnarok, and he ceases to be the front line that his team needs him to be. While on the other side, Jasper is a non-factor so far, even though he already has the Thornmill in hand.
Inspire playing forwards here, building components for both the Titanic and Ravenous Hydras in. Which am I gonna buy? I bet you can't tell, KG. So got that surprising purchase in the near future, you have to imagine. Much like this surprising fight, Arrow comes through.
Shockwave in the back line gets 2 members. In goes Inspire. Full speed that away as Flawless goes golden, but still gets taken down by the Reckless Strike. 1-for-1 so far. Support for Jungler, but Sigma Rebirth are taking a short end of the stick as KG are running down. Look at the damage on Signgor. Persistent takes down the 80 carry of Sigma Rebirth as they try to disengage. KG are running down the mid lane. The comeback from Jesper gets the kill down on the Knife Cat. Inspire dies from the redemption, and KG have an open red carpet to go for Baron.
Persistence was so low on the back of that play. I made his solo dive into the backline to shut down Zinogre, and Daze, by the exit portal of the Rise Ultimate, wanted to capitalize on that, baited it out, and it was the time spent waiting for his prey to arrive that spelt doom for the Rengar. He found himself being chased down by Mundo. Flash from Jasper with the proc of the E-proc burst through before the chance for the Roar came through. Daze drops, Baron drops, SGR, they were in complete control of the game. Now KG in the driver's seat as we hit that 27-minute mark.
How can you still say that SGR were in control? They'd never had the gold lead. It was just a matter of time.
They were winning the fights despite the gold lead, though. Like, they were actually smashing it.
Oh, also, man, this is such
it's
a
annoying me now
game.
Because this Ashe is basically building the normal Ashe build now. It's Muramana beforehand, so he's delayed the power spikes of the Ashe to just implement a Muramana in there somewhere.
Well, he gets the tiny procs on his Q, I guess, from the Muramana, so that's fine.
I guess.
Great.
Anyway,
so
Baron buff in the pockets of KG. Look about them! Man, this is a very scary Rise Caitlyn dual threat. Yes, it is. It is I mean, Rise was already scary as it was during the laning phase, but now that he's on a 3-item power spike, he's even scarier. Now Daze is getting slowed. Jasper in the sideline gets tagged by Inspire. Daze now hops in the fight. Persistent comes in. Arrow. In goes Aggressive Arrow. Daze secures the kill. And the Ragnarok is used to get the heck out of there. Actually, another criticism I have for Flawless itemization here, so we kind of call Zinogre, so I'm going to talk about Flawless again. Warrior, you don't need more Shockwave!
Shockwave in the back. Locks down 2 players. Flawless still healthy. Tries to get on Daze. Daze in the back. Hops in on top of Hoon. But gets taken down by Cranial. Now in the mid lane is where KG are applying pressure. And Sigma Rebirth need to take care of these waves.
Fight was entirely on Persistence there. Made the flank so the rest of SGR could not commit to the follow-up on Daze's engage. And Daze drops by himself yet again. Is not a tanky Rengar despite what Spirit Visage may have you believe. And on the top being tanky, imagine if this Jax and Cinderhawk, the fights would be a lot closer. Flawless, but he doesn't need it apparently.
KG are invading Sigma Rebirth's base. The inhibitor is cracked open. Inspire is going to get taken down by the ace in the hole. Kagami says, no, I don't want to take that. You take that. And he gets taken down eventually. Now the Nexus Towers are in front of KG. Their job now is to open those up with the bottom lane inhibitor cracked open in a huge wave fluctuating inside Sigma Rebirth's space. It's going to facilitate the process even further. They're just going to disengage.
Nexus Towers in front of KG and Nexus in front of KT. Caitlyn, her siege is stupidly insane at this stage of the game, especially with the Baron buff in your back pocket. KG crash all 3 lanes. Now they're reset. Now that they've cracked open the base, they'll go get a couple more items under their belts and then make final rotation for that last in the top lane before they really look to close out the game. 188 on Jasper is not indicative of just how much tankiness this Mundo has. When he's not eating the shockwave, he's not really eating any magic damage, to be honest. So he's just happy to be that consistent threat.
Exactly. He's just a meat shield at this point. It's exactly what Mundo is supposed to be. Soak up damage. Obviously, you don't want to soak up enough damage that it's going to grant you a death. But regardless, he's doing his job. In the meantime, Inspire committed his resources into a Ravenous Hydra.
Actually, on the topic of dodging out the match of the Orianna ultimate, if you don't get hit by an Orianna spell, there's no more grievous wounds besides that Morellonomicon. So if Jasper has some fancy footwork here, he could present himself to be relatively unkillable, despite the fact he does have 8 deaths of the 19 kills of Sigma.
Now, realistically, there's no damage to be dealt to Jesper unless there's a full commit from Inspire, and the grievous wounds are applied from Kagame at this point. In goes Daze.
Daze makes his own full commit. Arrow
goes for the Shockwave! 3-man Shockwave was huge, but KG come out alive of it. Cranel still godlike in the backline, dealing a lot of damage. Double kill comes from Zinogre. Might get the triple. Daze falls to Persistence as Inspire still holding on to the sliver of health in his bar. Gets 2 members back. Double kill comes in from the Rise onto Kagame, and now it's an open way for KG to take down the base. Only Zinogre is left alive to defend alongside Inspire, who's looking for a window to recall, but the Nexus right now is exposed. Cranel and Persistence have a lot of damage to cycle through. They try to get Zinogre down. Look at the damage from Cranel on those headshots. Avoids the trap, tries to go in, gets taken down in the process, and game for Karen Gaming.
Persistence, living up game in the mid lane, not giving up, putting the